objective butter. We have armed objective apples. We have taken both objectives.
C'è un medico!
Attack the new objectives.
Medico, mi hanno ferito!
We have armed objective butter.
Lancio una granata! Attenzione! Ecco, una granata per il nemico!
We have armed objective apples. We have taken out objective butter. We have taken both objectives. Stop firing. Attack the new objectives. have armed objective apples.
Granata partita! Tenete giù la testa! Questa granata è tutta per loro!
We have taken out objective apples. We have armed objective butter.
Granata partita! Occhio alla testa!
We have
Ora
taken
lancio
both
una granata!
objectives.
Lancio
Wait
una
for the
bomba a
enemy
mano!
artillery barrage to stop firing. Attack the new objectives.
Sergente, quali sono gli ordini?
Objective apples. The enemy has defused objective apples. We have armed objective apples. The enemy has defused objective apples. The enemy has defused objective butter. We have armed objective butter. The enemy has defused objective butter. We have armed objective butter. The enemy has defused objective butter. We have armed objective butter. We have taken both objectives. Wait for the enemy artillery barrage to stop firing. Attack the new objectives. We have armed objective apples. have taken out objective apples.
Abbiamo preso l'obiettivo! Vedo un soldato! Ci siamo! Distruggete quell'obiettivo!
We have armed objective butter.
Distruggete quell'obiettivo!
We have taken both objectives.
Ce l'abbiamo! Abbiamo la base!
Wait for the enemy artillery barrage to stop firing. Attack the new objectives.
Facciamo quell'obiettivo!
We have armed objective apples. The enemy has defused objective apples. We have armed objective We have taken out objective butter. We have armed objective apples. The enemy has defused objective apples. We have armed objective apples.
Coding your own games is easier than you think. You know, you should take this online Unity course on Udemy. It's taught by a software engineer.
Recording started. Oh, we're at over 5,300 now. Nice. All right, what are we doing? Let's, what do I gotta do here? There's two.
It's time for Nerdgasm.
Hey, what's up guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacles, and in this episode of Tech Tip, I will be showing you how to set up your very first live stream on either the Twitch TV or YouTube live streaming networks. Now, this doesn't require any prior knowledge of how to live stream, and we will be working with a software package that is completely free and open source even. So if you cannot figure out how to set up a live stream at the end of this tutorial, then I am a horrible teacher. Now, there are a lot of experience. You can also use Steam, even has live streaming capabilities, but they're all severely limited in the personalization of that live stream, and they're more just focused towards just streaming the gameplay and your voice. And there's some other elements that I like to add to that. So my favorite software that I use is called Open Broadcaster Software, and it's actually freely available, open source, and on GitHub. So it's actually a really great software package, and you never have to pay a dime for it. Now, there's two versions of this tool available. There's the OBS Classic version, which is what I will be using in this tutorial, but it's only available on Windows. If you're on OS X on a Mac or on Linux, you're going to need to use the new OBS Studio. But just be warned, I did try OBS Studio before shooting this tutorial, and I ran into some resolution problems with the VM. So it looks like they still got some bugs and kinks that they need to work out. But if you are on OS X or Linux, by all means download Studio and you'll still be able to follow along, most editing the stream and so on. And we're going to walk through each one of those. Now you'll notice if we just click Preview Stream, we just get a black box. That's all you get. So if you were live streaming right now, you would be live streaming absolutely nothing but the voice, because if you look down here at the little microphone, you can see the meters going up and down as I'm talking, because my voice is actually mapped because it's using the default microphone on the system. You can opt to change that to something else if you want, but that's the default configuration. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here is we want to add a source to our scene. So we're going to right click on the sources box, we're going to go to add, and you see you can capture windows, you can capture a monitor, you can put an image on there, you can put text over it. You can even do video capture devices like webcams and capture cards. So we're going to do a video capture device. We're going to just call this webcam.
Oh, look, another 3-bedroom just came up for sale.
Turn your phone off!
Sorry.
Device. We're going to just call this webcam. And then you can see a list of drop downs. This system only has one webcam attached to it, so I'm going to go ahead and just select that as the default, but you can add as many webcams as you want. Now we're going to go ahead and leave the audio input device to disabled, but if you were using the internal microphone on the webcam, you could select it directly. But we're going to leave that disabled because I'm actually using a microphone plugged in through USB. Okay, let's go ahead and hit push OK. Hey, look, I'm back. So let's say that I want a scene where it's just me. So when I'm doing my live stream, let's say during game loading menus and stuff, I just want you guys to see me. I will set up this scene as just that. So we're gonna go ahead and rename scene, just so I know what it is. And we're just gonna say full webcam. Doesn't matter, you can type in whatever you want. And now I'm gonna create a new scene. I'm gonna right click on this box, say add another scene, and we're gonna call this gameplay with webcam. So now I have 2 scenes in my project. So you can see gameplay with webcam has nothing. Full webcam has me. See? Nothing. And I can switch between them while I'm live streaming, which is really cool. All right, so now I want to add a source. So we're going to go ahead and add my webcam again. So go to video capture devices, and we'll just do webcam again. You can also create something called a global source so you can keep reusing it so you don't have to go through this whole process over and over again. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to do it. Now there's another button called edit scene. When you click edit scene down here at the bottom of the screen, you get a light red box around the video. And what this allows you to do is drag it and resize it. So now I can put my video down here if I want. I can put my video up here if I want. But then we just got a black screen back here. So we actually need some gameplay now. So let's go ahead and open a game. I'm going to open up Castle Crashers. Okay, now before I start the game, I'm going to hold down the Alt key and press Enter, which is going to make the game go into a windowed mode. Now, you can also Alt Tab out of the game, but I find this method works best. Now we're going to go ahead and get OBS back up on the screen. And we're going to add a source. We're going to right click inside sources and say add game capture. And we're going to call this Castle Crashers. And you can see it already knows that Castle Crashers is the game that's focused, the last thing that I use. So I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. And now you can see that Castle Crashers is actually inside the box. You see that? It's running in the background and it's running in my broadcaster. Now my webcam got overwritten. You can see because Castle Crashers is at the top of sources. So I'm going to click on webcam. I'm going to right click and say order and say move up. And there's my webcam again. So now I actually have a webcam on top of the scene. Now a cool tip that I want to show you guys is if you hold down, you have to be in the edit scene mode. So see this little edit scene button down here? You want to make sure you're in the edit scene mode. You're going to hold down the Alt key and grab the edge, and you can drag it in. See how I'm cropping it? It's not resizing it, it's cropping it. So if you hold the Alt key, you can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop it in on that side. I'm going to hold the Alt key and drag it on the other side. Hold the Alt key down here at the bottom, drag that up a little bit. And what I'm doing is just trying to get as much of my face in there as possible without the surrounding information. That way we're just not taking up a lot of the screen real estate. So this is probably the default live stream that most of you guys see. And what I can do is during loading screens, I can go ahead and just click full webcam and it'll switch back to me in full frame. Now I apologize for the lag, guys. Again, I'm doing this on a VM. On your computer, it's not going to be that laggy. So now I can talk to you guys, I can talk to the audience, I can field questions while things are loading, and then when the game is ready to go again, I just click on gameplay with webcam and it'll go back to that scene. See, here I am. Now, obviously, when you're inside of a game and playing it, it's going to be really hard to have to Alt-Tab out and change the scene, so you can use hotkeys. So what I can do is right-click on full webcam, and I can go down to Set Hotkey. So I'm going to set my hotkey on this one to Control-1. See, it's Control+1. And then I'm going to set my hotkey on the second one, Control-2. So now, while I'm inside of the game, so I'm going to go back to the game, I'm going to press Control-1. And then we're going to go back to OBS, and you can see it switched the scene. So now when you're inside of the game, you can literally just do the hotkeys. So even though you can't see the OBS interface, you can still control it while you're in the game. Just be careful not to set hotkeys that conflict with the game you're playing, because that could create issues. All right, so the next step is now we need to set it up to live stream. We're going to start with YouTube, and then we'll move over to Twitch. So what you want to do is go up to settings and then select settings. I know that's a little redundant. And then you have a whole bunch of options over on the left side of the screen. You have general, encoding, broadcast settings, video, audio, hotkeys, so on and so forth. There are a lot of options in here. Don't let it overwhelm you. So what we want to start with is encoding. Now under encoding options, the default is going to be 1,000 kilobytes per second. Now what you want to do is figure out how much upstream bandwidth you have. So I recommend going to a site like speedtest.net and conducting a speed test to figure out how much upload bandwidth you have. Then, because you're going to be playing a game, factor in that you're probably going to need some of that bandwidth for the game itself. So dial it back by about a quarter. And what I usually recommend if you have the bandwidth for it is no less than 2,500 kilobits per second for 1080p at 30 frames per second, or no less than 2,000 at 720p, just from my own experience. But if you can get up to 3,500, it's going to look amazing. So for my upstream, I'm going to go ahead and set it at 3,000 kilobytes per second, roughly 3 megabit. Okay, now I'm going to go down to broadcast settings, and you can see right here mode live stream or file output only. If you set it to file output only, it will just save a local copy to the hard drive. So if you're recording like a Let's Play video or something like that, you can totally use this to do that. You don't have to live stream. You can also record locally and live stream at the same time, so you have a physical copy locally on your system. It's actually a very versatile software. So we're going to go ahead and set it back to live stream. And then down here you can see streaming services. There's a whole list. There's Twitch, Vaughn, Good Game, Daily Motion, YouTube. I mean, you can stream to all of these